So many.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Caution. Sandstorm approaching. Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Being updated. Shortly. Extraction failed. Extraction failed.
Highlighted. So I can blow it up.
разберусь.
Есть понятие. Ну, что там делаешь? Когда они нам хоть что-то говорили? В пещере ничего не видно. Тьма кромешна.
Представляю.
Ладно, я пошел.
Давай, увидимся.
Development complete.
Fine.
He's coming too.
Complete.
Roger that.
Please select a unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
Hands up. Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Ты слышал историю о человеке с одним глазом? Ага. Что он много положил наших ребят. Он душман?
Нет. Но я слышал, что его прислали американские империалисты в поддержку душмана. Кто-то из выживших рассказывал, что у него на голове рог, и что он сражается как одержимый демоном.
Рогатый мужик? Да он, небось, запаниковал и съел с косушек.
Может быть.
стреляй!
Talk. Spit it out. Where are the others?
Sun will rise momentarily.
Стреляй!
Spit it out. Where are the others?
You gotta extract him. He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
Stop him!
Talk. Where are your friends?
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Outpost captured.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Sun will set shortly. Please select a delivery point. Analysis complete.
Hold them off! Where are the others?
The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that. Somewhere in that facility. Where could the entrance be?
The map has been updated. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Analysis complete.
System. The same model as the one in the cave?
Complete.
Looks like they're about ready to start deploying it.
Analysis complete.
Coming too. Roger that.
Analysis complete. 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 Analysis complete.
Стал тестовым врагом.
Интересно. Как скоро они поступят?
Если громоздишься на такую штуковину, только выставишь тебя на обозрение.
Вопрос. Выбор есть. Да, слышишь? Разрабатывали
Нас запишут тренировки с ним.
Ага. Новая необкатанная техника. Практический опыт. Дай больше.
Analysis complete. You have arrived at your destination.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
You've arrived at your destination.
You gotta extract him.
Who are you? Snake? It's not you, is it?
Hey! It's just a machine. Are you?
Dr. Emmerich.
Snake? Ah! Let me go! No! Give me back my legs!
Right on schedule. Now bring him back to Mother Base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Okay, I'm sending a chopper close by. Get to the LZ with Emmerich.
Hang on a second. Let's use the walker.
The map has
There's
been
a special
updated.
one here at the lab. Only I can activate it, and I'll tell you how to operate it.
Ignore Emmerich. We don't need his wind-up toys. It is a long way there. Why don't you use that walker gear?
I'll start it up. Get this off me! Here we go. They're single pilot machines. I'll... Hey! Developing a bipedal weapon for the Soviet Union. It hasn't been deployed yet. I was doing mobility testing. Once the walker gear is finished, they'll have a huge advantage in close combat. Once they add my masterpiece into the equation, this war will be over. The Soviets will win.
He was developing bipedal weapons for the Soviets. If that's the case,
Clouds.
what's Cypher's interest in it?
Requested.
Boss, think back. 9 years ago, we invited that nuclear inspection team to Mother Base. It was a ruse. They turned out to be Cypher's strike force. It was them there. He's been underground ever since, working with Cypher.
I had no idea. I thought the inspection was real. I swear it. If anyone's to blame, it's you, Snake. We should never have had that nuke. That's the reason Mother Base was destroyed.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Cypher threatened to kill me. Made me do research for them here. That's right. Creating bipedal weapons. 9 years. Forced to do whatever they said.
This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Soviets.
Impossible! It can't be active!
Doctor, you're as useless as I thought. This is the real Sahelanthropus. You and your friend will die here. Behold! Today is the day weapons learn to walk upright!
chance yet. Boss. You need to focus, boss. Get the target to the RV. Get close. Boss, lose the enemy before you arrive at the LZ. Alright, the chopper's touching down. Don't waste any time getting on board. And don't forget Emmerich. Flawless work. You never cease to amaze, boss. Here it comes. Use the chopper's minigun. Shake him off.
Oh, shit.
An upright bipedal weapon. In terms of hominids, it's a sahelanthropus. How did they complete it without me?
We'll hear the rest back at base.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete. Phew, at least you made it out in one piece.
See.
What did I do? I'm on your side. What about him? Miller was in contact with Cypher 9 years ago. He was working with them. He's the traitor, Snake! What's that? More truth serum?
No. Stronger truth
Oh,
serum.
please. Please keep me here. I need protection. Ah! Ah! Oh. 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 Why?
You're the odd one out.
Why me?
We all lost something.
What?
Except you.
Don't.
The truth serum isn't working. Either some procedure he had done boosted his metabolic enzymes, or he's undergone special gene therapy.
What's he saying?
Same as 6 hours ago. I had no idea Section 9 years ago was a ruse. Cypher forced me to do that research after the attack.
Do you think he had a hand in it?
I do. But there's no proof yet. Take a listen to this later.
We need proof before we can pass judgment. Keep an eye on him. And don't tell anyone he's here.
We'll have him continue his research in there. It's for his own good. The older guys will want his head. We can't guarantee his safety if we let him out.
Boss.
He mentioned something interesting. The reason why they pulled their plug on the operation in Afghanistan. He said their funding started going to Central Africa instead. Cypher is pursuing new research in Africa.
Africa? What research?
Emmerich doesn't know the details, but one thing he said does make sense. That Sahelanthropus alone isn't enough to cause an RMA. He claims that what they're doing in Africa is the missing piece. A weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
Meaning it's not just another nuke.
Good. You captured it alive.
accidentally killed somebody earlier.
Boss, there's no doubt about it. Cypher's working on something in Central Africa. There's evidence they've been in contact with private forces operating in the region. We follow that evidence. We should learn what Cypher is after. Diamond Dogs has gotten a lot bigger. Now's the time to take the... Head back to the ACC for your next mission.
Please select a mission.
Welcome back.
Caution, rain approaching.
DD makes a pretty good partner, huh, boss?
Too early to say.
Yeah? Just seeing him come back makes me real proud.
What breed is he? He's not a husky.
You're right. Siberian Husky is a cross between a Spitz-type dog and a wolf. I think DD might have some wolf blood in him, too. He isn't just smart. He's also shown remarkable judgment. If he doesn't do what you want him to, he's just doing what he thinks is right in the situation. And he's steady under fire. Remember, he's no lap dog. But learn his strengths, and you'll understand each other soon enough. You'll make one hell of a team.
Ocelot. Why don't you take it upon yourself to train him?
Why?
Yeah. When's the last time you heard a wildcat raising a dog?
I have an eye for him. I knew at first glance he'd make the right partner for you.
Huh.
And I figured it was about time he got out into the world.
So you passed him off on me?
There, you see? I knew you liked him.
I don't know about that yet. I still think he's trying to figure me out, too.
I'll spend some more time with him. You'll see how helpful he can be.
What about you?
I prefer to work alone.
Ocelots don't hunt.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I'm glad you like him. DD's really taken to you, too. And to going on your walks. Don't be shy about taking him with you in the future.
I'll think about it.
Good dog.
Please select a mission. Staff assigned. Please specify a project. Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. On station at LZ.
Please specify a project.
Gaining altitude.
Mission
Boss, I've been meaning to tell you something. Our old friend Zero hasn't been seen in public since you left the States. That was over 10 years ago now. You suspected he was responsible for the accident at your base in the Caribbean. But at that point, Zero was already bedridden. So it never felt right to me that Zero gave the order. Now that I've seen the man Emmerich was working for, I'm sure he didn't. He was our old friend's XO. A man without a face. Not one you want to look at anyway. Skullface. He's the one who destroyed your base 9 years ago. The unit he commands, XOF, was Cypher's strike force. But he's since split from Zero and used XOF to usurp control over Cypher itself. In other words, the Cypher we're hunting isn't Zero. Beyond Zero is a void that's even darker. Skullface.
It wasn't just Cypher. Back in the Caribbean, every eye in the world was turned on us. A private army, just in possession of a nuke? Why wouldn't they be uncomfortable?
And that's why you made sure the inspection happened.
Well, I thought our best move was to prove to the UN through the IAEA that we had no nuke. Of course, I was against us having it in the first place, but that was Snake's decision.
The boss wasn't responsible.
Well, don't get me wrong, I still believed in Snake. I thought I was making the best decision for all of us, that's all. I figured we should get a third party to exonerate us before proof of the nuke did get out. And who better to do that than an organization with international authority?
So the truth is, you took it upon yourself to agree to arranged by the UN. Only the inspection was a ruse, and Cypher's strike force, XOF, showed up instead.
I had no idea that would happen.
Enough bullshit.
Oh, sure, like I could have known. You know, I was just trying to prove our innocence to the world. What's wrong with that?
We're not interested in the excuses you've thought up. The truth is objective.
Just see it.
You led XOF to the control tower. They seized it, giving them complete control over the base. Moments later, they detonated C4 on the strut legs. Anyone who'd survive with the assault force and their choppers.
You can't believe I did that on purpose.
That was the end of Mother Base. But it wasn't the end for you.
How can you... Look, think about it. I lost something too. I built Zeke and it got buried underwater. I am a victim.
That raises the big questions. Why were you the only one spared? You got away without a scratch. Why did Strangelove leave the base on the eve of the inspection? You two were close.
Strangelove?
And how did you manage to build something that surpasses Zeke in every way? Because you did everything they told you. You're the only one who didn't lose a thing. That is the truth.
I against my will. Skullface forced me to do his research these past 9 years. He used me. I lost 9 years.
9 years. We all lost 9 years. It wasn't just you.
I suppose blaming me makes you feel better, does it? But who's gonna give me back all the time I lost?
You're not getting anything back.
You're not a victim here, Emmerich. You're the perpetrator.
I didn't know anything.
Nobody can back that up.
Yeah, all the evidence is at the bottom of the ocean.
You know the hardest man to break. The type who's fooling himself. That takes time. It's easier to live a lie than a painful truth. Is that the piece you've chosen, Doc?
I'm not lying.
Of course. Just let me check one or two things. On that day, you were in the control tower with them. Lucky you. That's how you got out unscathed. And you escaped on one of their choppers. Only you, right before the base went under.
They had me blindfolded the whole time. I've never been so scared. The whole flight, I thought they'd kill me. But thinking of you kept me going. My comrades, all the way.
And?
There was a plane journey, then we traveled by road. When they finally took off the blindfold, on the floor. Afghanistan, it was that research lab. I couldn't believe they'd taken me around the world. And soon enough, he came.
Skullface.
He's the one who's really that Mother Base attack. He forced me into that research.
What kind of research?
He told me to build a bipedal walking tank for the Soviet Union. Like Peace Walker. A system fire an ICBM-class nuclear weapon. That's how the Sahelanthropus project got started.
Sahelanthropus.
Those AI weapons I'd made in Costa Rica were like toys by comparison. A whole world apart from reptilian falling and that ridiculous hunched-over bipedal waddling. My design evolved. To the dawn of mankind. Sahelanthropus, the first steps towards humanity. An upright bipedal weapon system. Originally, Sahelanthropus was going to be a manned weapons platform. I designed a cockpit head and I planned to fill it with water as a buffering agent.
Like how Paz modified Zeke for human control.
Don't compare me to some amateur. I designed it for human control from the beginning. The problem was miniaturizing the posture control AI. You remember the reptile pod?
The AI that controlled your unmanned weapons.
Attaching it... So this time I wanted it beneath the armor. Meaning I had to make the AI smaller. I got it down to less than 1/10 the size without any loss in computation speed. But it was still too big for the cockpit. There wasn't enough room for the pilot. If I made the head bigger, its body would have to be bigger to support it. Too big to be practical. In the end, human piloting was taken off the table. I tested a remote control system too, but there was the time lag and I wasn't satisfied with its precision either. Plus, it would be useless if the enemy jammed it. So next, I went back to trying an AI-only system. To do that, I had the AI pods recovered from Nicaragua. This was a hybrid AI, a combination of Peace Walker's reptile and mammal pods. The only AIs that had ever successfully operated an unmanned nuclear weapon system.
Really? Working. Expert help.
Did you work with someone?
I worked alone.
You did that yourself?
That's the thing. The AI didn't pan out in the end either. But I did finally get Sahelanthropus walking by folding over its upper body to lower its center of gravity. The first upright bipedal locomotive weapon system in the history of mankind. I guess, technically it falls into the anthropoid ape category.
I don't see the benefit of having it stand taller.
On terrain with significant differences in elevation like Afghanistan, you need a body that's vertically adaptable. That also lets it attack from long range while using mountain ridges for cover. So, making it walk is the most important factor in giving it superior height capability. As the name suggests, that was the whole point of Sahelanthropus. But I was being pushed for results. Having the AI mounted externally would have been the fastest way to get it working. I just needed more data so it could maintain its balance. But Skullface refused to wait. He dismissed the idea of AI control and took Sahelanthropus away from me before I could finish it.
But it was walking when it came after you.
That's just it. I don't understand how Skullface got it to move upright, without a pilot or an AI. And walking at that speed, too. It's beyond anything I could have imagined. This is like the Wright brothers making it to the moon. I'm just as clueless as you are.
So this Sahelanthropus, where is it now?
I have no idea. All my experiments took place in the cave. I've never seen it anywhere else. Besides, it's still just an incomplete prototype at this point, and nothing but a paper tiger. Even if it can walk, it's far from being a viable weapons platform. It wouldn't be useful in actual battle.
Emmerich will remain here at Mother Base for now, but not as a member of Diamond Dogs. I still don't trust him. That work for you?
Fine by me. He can't be allowed any contact with staff either.
Yeah. A lot of the guys back for 9 years ago. We still need him alive. Restrict his movements. He can only go where we tell him. And of course, the interrogations will continue. He worked for that skull bastard for nearly a decade. He still has more to tell us.
How long are we gonna press him?
If our investigation shows he really had nothing to do with the attack, we'll reconsider his place here. But I don't want that to happen. Remember that water tank-shaped object in Emmerich's lab in the Soviet base camp? The thing that started to look like a possessed answering machine. That was a pod built for housing the AI used to control unmanned weapons. You remember, back in '74 in Costa Rica. It was in those machines you fought there. They were designated Cocoon and Basilisk, and each of them was fitted with an AI unit called a Reptile. Emmerich created it. It mainly handled the machine's posture control and autonomous behavior. But the Basilisk, aka Peace Walker, also featured a second AI pod. That one was called the Mammal Pod, and it was created by Dr. Strangelove. She tried to recreate the boss's personality through the Mammal Pod, but you pulled out its memory boards. That's when it transferred its own functions to its reptile pod. Just like a human brain compensating for damage by using the remaining healthy parts. The result was a unique entity, a hybrid of the reptile and the mammal. It sank to the bottom of Lake Nicaragua. But apparently they seized it and transported it to that lab. Don't let it deceive you, Snake. It may sound like the boss, but it has neither a personality nor a will. Like Emmerich says, it's just a machine.
Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Everyone has their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on. Obviously, as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes.
A warning?
Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. Of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war. They have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time. Don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player. Their head office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former SADF soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training. A company drawing its recruits hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them. Within the CFA is a company made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West. On top of that, they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force. So don't brush them off. Look at the Angola-Zaire border region. The east bank of the Munene River in particular. It's a microcosm of a problem all across Africa. There's a civil war going on in Angola, fought between the government MPLA and the Western-backed UNITA. Zaire is still a dictatorship under President Mobutu, but numerous uprisings have broken out in its remote regions. With all the trouble elsewhere keeping their hands full, neither government has control over their side of the border. They depend on militias and PFs, as do the rebels. Government forces, guerrillas, militants, of all shapes and sizes hawk whatever resources they can to hire PFs. Conflict brings PFs. Expand the war zone, and more conflicts erupt in a continuous chain reaction. Sounds like our kind of work. Mother Base could...
specify a project. Please specify a project. Clouds approach. Please select a mission.
Boss, this contract comes out of Angola. That's right, Central America claimed they were working on a weapon to suppress gear. There's been a massive oil spill from Mafinda oil field. It's flowing into the river and contaminating the water supply. An environmental NGO has asked us to stop the spill by destroying the facility. Environmental activism isn't exactly our line of work, but it's not that simple either. The group operating the facility and causing the spill is the rebel group UNITA. And word has it that UNITA is getting supplied with U.S. military weapons. That sounds to me like Cypher's pulling their strings. Boss, it's time to give Cypher a little place. target is Angola's Mfinda oil field, upstream from the landing point. A spill has covered the whole area and a pipeline to cross any river. Not to mention the villages downstream have no drinking water. Runs to the pipeline from that facility. Taking it out should end the leak. The client this time is an environmental NGO. Destroy the facility. Stop that leak. This may seem like straight-up philanthropy, but there's another reason we agreed to it. The Mfinda oil field was outdated, abandoned. Then the rebel group United moved in. Themselves to kickstart operations. United's been rapidly modernizing its arsenal. Someone's been selling them U.S. hardware. Intel's analysis suggests the broker's a front company, Cyphers. Keeping tabs on United can tell us who's pulling its strings. Make your way to the facility. It's to the north, past Wala Yamasa. The village is currently occupied by Unida, so stay sharp. The war we started has taken a pretty crooked course these past 9 years. With no other options, soldiers have become dumb war, sent to conflict zone private forces, or PFs. Guys we fought alongside are dying all around the globe for no reason. But it's how they survive. The demand for PF in Africa is especially high. Cold War standoffs, resource exploitation, tribal clashes. What's big business for developed countries has only brought conflict here. That mess you're standing in is just the latest example.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Digitalis. It's toxic, but it can also be used as medicine. You've arrived at Masa Village. It's been a supply hub for Unida. It'll be stocked with weapons and resources. Should be a thing or two that'll come in handy. Don't be shy. They deserve to be in better hands.
The map has been updated.
Though they're members of Unida, those locals have been hired by CFA, the South African PF, and they're communicating through Afrikaans, the official language of the country. We'll need someone with the Afrikaans interpreter skill to understand what they're saying.
Analysis complete.
Those are United, but their gear is from a PF known as the CFA, the Contract Forces of Africa. Militants hired a PF to themselves, but the PF got so big it absorbed them. How's that for irony?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Move.
Talk. Where are you? Soldiers are speaking Afrikaans, an official language of the Republic of South Africa. Boss, we're gonna need someone with the Afrikaans interpreter skill to understand what they're saying. We'll look into it here, but for now, you'll just have to make do without one. Sound of rain should help to mask your footsteps.